Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 15th July 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. So let me start by an apology about the weekly podcast. The podcast is going to place tomorrow. Sadly, Tygergamer had to attend to some private matters. And since that is out of the way, let's go directly into the news. Today we're going to take a look at two topics. First, we're going to take a look at Rainbow Six Siege, as apparently its guidelines for banning players have become much stricter, as they are now banning people who use slurs of any kind in the game. And secondly, in a bit of a lighter piece of news, we're going to take a look at the former Toys R Us mascot who has decided to find a new job, being a professional wrestler. But let's begin with Rainbow Six Siege. And a few months ago, the developers behind Rainbow Six Siege came out with a developer blog saying that they understand that their community is quite toxic and they do want to battle it in one way or another. They actually had some direct guidelines of what will exactly happen, but it seems they have changed their minds slightly. As now, if you use any sort of slur in-game, you will get banned straight away. So the new guidelines are essentially this. For first slur, you will get a 27-minute ban. For a second one, you will get a ban lasting for 2 hours. And if you use it again, you will be banned and an investigation will be put into your account to see whether maybe you even deserve a permanent ban. Interestingly, some people are saying that this is an impediment on their free speech. And you know me, I'm a big proponent of free speech, but here I just have to disagree with people. This is a private company space and they have the right to say what language can be used inside of their property and what kind of language they don't want. So them saying we do not want people using any sort of slurs, whether it's racial, gender-based, or just bad words in general, I guess, they do have the right to tell you that you are just not allowed to use them, and they do have the right to punish you accordingly, depending on how exactly they want to punish you. And that's pretty much all. If you truly believe a company doesn't have the right to ban you because you went against its guidelines, then you are sorely mistaken. They truly have the right and ability to tell you, no, we will not stand for this. We do not like this sort of language. We do not want it inside of our game for whatever reason. The reason may be that they consider it non-polite. They might consider it racist. They might consider it misogynistic, misandric, or whatever. It's their right to tell you, this is our space. You are essentially renting it, so you have to abide by our rules. And people need to understand this. Yes, there are places where freedom of speech is very important. Usually it's public spaces that aren't owned by any private entity. And there, your freedom of speech should be absolute, in my own personal opinion. But when you're inside of a space that is owned by a private entity, you certainly do not have freedom of speech. You have to abide by the rules that that private entity puts out for you. And the developers behind Rainbow Six Siege have been pretty clear about what exactly they do and do not consider to be appropriate behavior. And I personally agree with them on this one. I do not think that when you're playing a game, you have the right to say whatever you want. You should try to be as polite as possible. You shouldn't call people names. You shouldn't say any racial slurs to them. You shouldn't say any gender slurs to them, whether it's a female or male slur. It's just not nice behavior, and in the end, it actually hurts your team's performance. It's one of the things it took me not too long to discover in Rocket League. Whenever we had a toxic player on our team and he started, sprigging out, the teams would actually play even worse because nobody really wants to play with a jackass. So if you're playing an online game, I do highly encourage you to be positive when you're playing. It will actually make your team play better. So take that into consideration. Moving on to our second topic for today, let's take a look at Toys R Us. So this is essentially two pieces of news together. Until a few days ago, there were two last Toys R Us. I'm sorry, oh, god damn it, I'm completely wrong. Sorry, this is for my other show. I got it mashed up. So again, you may remember if you ever went to Toys R Us in America that they did have a little mascot, a little giraffe. And maybe some of your fondest childhood memories might be taking a picture with this mascot. But if you want to take a picture with him now, you should go into the world of pro wrestling as Jeffrey, who is what is the name of the mascot, has decided to join FSCV, which I don't know what it stands for, to be honest. I'm not big into wrestling. But he has recently appeared in the FSCV Royal Rumble match at SuperCon in Florida. And while it is pretty hilarious to watch a giraffe in wrestling, yeah, it is hilarious. And if you want to have some fun, I highly encourage you to search for this online and just laugh your asses off. And it's nice to see that somebody took the opportunity from a failed franchise to actually use it somewhere else. And while I personally am not a fan of wrestling, I do understand that many people enjoy the performance the wrestlers put on for their fans. And good for them. It's a hobby as any other. Some people like watching hockey, some people like watching football, whether it's American or European. Some people even like watching cricket for a reason I still haven't deciphered. And some people like watching wrestling, so if they do, let them have fun. And Jeffrey the Giraffe will certainly bring them tons of fun, and I'm very happy that he will. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Steam, maybe you want to upload a post and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment on either of the sites, and be sure to tune in tomorrow because tomorrow is the day of the weekly podcast with me and Tygergamer. See you guys later with more gaming content.